What's up, guys? Today we're doing something a little bit different. I'm coming at you from Ty's workshop.
Coach Ty coming at you from the garage.
That's a little nod to Coach
Kelly.
But today I'm gonna learn how to weld, guys. I've never done this before. I'm a little scared, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So we tried to do nails a couple days ago, and that went pretty well. We're gonna do that again. But this is actually Ty's idea, and I think it's gonna go pretty well.
I think you're gonna enjoy it. I think you'll have a good time.
What's your thoughts on it?
So, well, first thing, let's talk a little bit about safety just before we get started.
Yeah, one of the questions I asked before we turned the camera on was, can I hurt myself?
Short answer, yes, but not how you think. So most people are worried with this about getting electrocuted. That's really not the number one way you're going to hurt yourself. The number one way you're going to hurt yourself is just because things don't look hot doesn't mean they aren't extremely ridiculously hot.
Gotcha. So
from this point on, we're going to assume that everything on this table, outside of our extra phone, is hot. So anything that gets touched on this table, we do with gloves.
Gotcha.
Okay? Got a deal?
Mm-hmm.
Deal. Okay. Also, to anyone out there, if you do want to try this stuff, one of the things we did is Steph is in her manual chair today. The welding machines, a lot of them put out high frequencies, and electronics don't like it. So a good idea is like try and keep your cell phones, key fobs, like car key fobs, stuff like that away. I really haven't heard anybody having major issues with it, but it doesn't mean that it hasn't happened.
If you're in a power chair.
Yeah, power. That's what I'm saying. Like with a power chair, you should probably try and find a different way, whether it's transferring to something else. But yeah. So okay. So what we're going to do today is a couple of things. There's two main types of welds that you're going to do, especially like for testing.
Okay.
You have groove welds and you have fillet welds. So fillet welds are literally where, like when we're looking at this little area in here,
yeah,
we're going to create a fillet, okay? That's filling in this groove in the center.
Okay.
And it's joining these two pieces. Groove welds are this. There's literally a groove. So we have two plates that we're going to join together, and we bevel the edges of them, and the bevel allows us to create more surface area to get better penetration for the weld.
So this one's already done?
This is not done. These pieces are just tacked together.
Gotcha.
Okay? So what we're going to do here is we're going to do some MIG welding, which is basically a single-handed, two-handed process. It's pretty simple. There's a little
pretty
bit.
Simple.
It's pretty simple, but
we'll see about that.
It's pretty simple. But what we're going to need to do is we'll take a couple seconds to get used to the noise of the machine, because it is a little bit different sound.
Okay.
It does make a little bit of spatter, so we can get burned. That's why I said make sure you're wearing long sleeves. We're going to secure your hair. We'll get you with a hood to do that. And then we're also going to play with a little bit thicker plate. Actually, this is all 125 or 126/11 gauge.
For the person that has no idea what that is.
It's 1/8 inch thick, basically.
And that sounds like Chinese.
Yeah. Well, it's an eighth inch thick material. I like to play with this stuff. The reason is you can see your heat affected zone on the back sides of it really easily. So when you're starting to learn, these are 110 machines. We're just running them on basic household current right now. So if with a smaller machine, it allows you to see your heat affected zone and see what you've got going and see your level of penetration a lot easier. And you're not fighting a duty cycle that's nothing, which I know, once again, it's probably Chinese, but that's okay.
Yeah, I feel like it's, so like when you walk into a CrossFit gym or you walk into our gym, and we always, we meet new people and we'll say, I know this will look like Chinese, but if you stay here for 2 weeks, it's going to turn into English. And I feel like that right now, so if you're a new athlete, I totally feel you.
So the other thing, we're going to do some mild steel work with the MIG machine, which is a single-handed process. And then we're going to have some fun, okay?
So that wasn't fun?
This is where I really enjoy doing stuff, though. So we're gonna do some TIG welding, okay? These are just some little scraps of aluminum, and we're going to play with some TIG welding, which is a two-handed plus a foot or thumb process.
Okay, so...
Right. So we will figure it out. So
Mike Box, where you at?
For the people who don't know about box wheelchairs, like check them out, and like
I'm gonna be building my own wheelchair soon.
If you think that like you're hot, as a welder, like you need to check out Bo Jones, man. Bo Jones is like with the stuff that guy does with I'm not gonna give you the lowdown on him. You just need to see it. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. But if Bo can do it, I'm sure you can figure it out, and I'm sure Bo would tell you to figure it out.
Yeah. So one of the things that I think is really interesting though is that Ty mentioned the sound, and especially for somebody with spastic CP, you don't realize that certain sounds will just make you have a reaction. It's not something we do on purpose, so it was really good that he gave me a heads up, because I am very sensitive to sound, and so it'll be interesting to see how this goes.
I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be okay. Basically, so when we're playing with the MIG machine, it's going to sound a lot like, ideally, the kind of generic thing that people say is it should sound like cooking bacon, like sizzling bacon. Okay? There is a little bit of slag that's going to pop away, a little bit of spatter that's going to happen. Not a big deal. Just pay attention to what you're doing. Here, a little bit louder.
We had a change of outfit, guys.
Okay, so at this point, remember, everything on this table is hot.
So when I get really nervous, I start to laugh a lot.
All right.
I'm super nervous.
So I'm going to show you how to do this real quick. Now, look, you pull the trigger, you're going to hear it. Tss, okay? That's just the gas flow starting.
Turn my head up.
Nope, you're okay right now. So when we pull the trigger, that's the gas flow starting. That shields our electrode so we don't end up with impurities getting into our weld. Okay? So the wire is going to feed out of here. That's what's going to create our weld puddle. The trick is, see how long that wire is? You want to try and maintain that distance at all times.
Okay.
If it gets too long, it's going to start to spatter and make all kinds of mess. If it gets too short, you're going to weld it to the tip.
How does it change size?
So literally as we're doing this, we're going to stay a distance off. See what I'm saying?
Okay.
You're not resting it, you're just a little bit distance off. What's real common...
Oh, so you're not holding this button the whole time?
We are going to, yes. But for right now, I'm just trying to show you without blinding ourselves.
Okay.
Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, just show you what we're doing. Go ahead and drop your hood. So we're going to pull the weld too, okay?
Okay.
Alright, so we're moving this direction. Or I'm going to move this direction.
Okay. I'm so scared.
Can you see?
Yep.
Alright, don't be scared. It's going to start sizzling, like you hear kind of little crackles and pops, okay?
Okay. Wow.
Okay? So that's what we're doing.
Oh boy. Guys,
And
you trust me with fire.
no, you're going to do great. Alright.
Can you, my chair's okay? I'm fine?
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Okay, so trust you with fire. I'm gonna try and get some arc shots here. See what's going on.
If I don't survive, tell her
You're gonna survive just fine. Okay, so you've got your choice here as to.
Can I put this up?
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, push up. There you go. And it'll be a little click at the end. I'll hold it up for you. You're gonna spend this whole time fighting with your hood, aren't you?
My head is really small. So is that hot now?
Yes. Yes,
so
it is.
When does it not dead?
Got it. Cool. So we're gonna wait for all intents and purposes just to let this cool, but we don't have to right now. We're gonna give you a shot and see what you can do. Okay.
What was that for?
Was what for?
Brush.
So you notice, see how there's discoloration and stuff around there?
Yeah.
When you start welding, any kind of impurities on this that heat up, they can turn into basically schmutz on there, and they move into the weld puddle. And what can happen is you cause impurities in the weld, and it's not as strong.
How do you get the metal in there? Do you ever run out of metal?
Mm-hmm. So inside of the machine, I don't know if you can see it, there's a door here, and there's a spool of wire.
Oh, that's cool.
These are cool little machines. They're a lot of fun. I like the little ones for sheet metal. If I'm doing big stuff, I use the TIG machine. But for doing sheet metal, I love doing the old MIG machines. They're great. So you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to see if I can fire this guy up.
Screw this up.
You're not going to screw it up. Just remember a couple things, okay? You want to keep an even distance, so you want to keep your stick out. That's what that's called, the wire stick out. You want to keep it the consistent length.
But you basically can't see anything except for that little
then
green dot.
That's what you're looking at. That's where your weld puddle is. Okay? So, here, let's do this real quick.
Sorry, I know.
That's okay. No, it's not annoying at all. Dude, look, you're asking good questions. When you're afraid, you're trying to look from back here and you really can't see it as well. Don't be afraid to look and see what we've got going on. Okay?
Yeah.
Drop your hood. Alright. And another big thing, breathe.
Okay.
Make sure you breathe and try and get into a position that's fairly comfortable. If
Okay.
it's all kind of contorted up, you're not going to be able to lay down a good weld. All right, ready? Can you see where we're at?
Yep.
All right, watch. So I won't do that. And you see how I'm moving back and forth?
Yeah.
Could you see it that time better?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like I'm not far enough away.
You're too far away.
Oh.
Don't be afraid to get close. It's not going to hurt you.
Okay. I'm scared.
Don't be scared. Look, it's okay. We're not trying to set any records right now. We're just having fun.
I can keep these up.
Don't worry about keeping it up. You can still see through it when it's down. You have a really tiny head.
Can you put it up for 1 second?
Push it up. You have a really itty bitty head. Okay, are you ready? Don't be scared. You're gonna do great.
Maybe
We're gonna end up knocking hoods off of one another. This is not gonna happen. Remember to fall off my bucket. Okay, so you're gonna take this.
Oh Jesus.
Don't be afraid.
Okay, that's good.
Yep. Tilt your hand a little bit more. Use both hands if you need to stabilize. Come down here. And you're gonna weld in that
Wait,
groove.
so I put one here?
No, you don't have to. You can. There you go. All right, and you're gonna weld in that crease down at the bottom. Nope. Remember, you want to keep that wire length. Go ahead and pull your trigger. Go a little bit lower. Get closer to you. See how it was?
Oh my God.
You're okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, it's okay. All right. So did you see how it was burning back to you?
Yeah.
So your stick out's too long. See how long the wire is? Hold on. Don't blind me. So you see how long the wire is?
Uh-huh.
Okay. You want to try and keep it pretty close to the gun. You understand?
Okay.
So what's really common is people start to weld and then they do this.
Okay.
All right? Try and keep it consistent in your distance away.
Okay.
You ready? Go for it.
Sorry.
Stop apologizing.
Oh my God, do you have
Hang
gloves on?
Hang on. I'm okay. Trust me. I've been burned before. Try and keep your wire that long sticking out of the gun. Make sense?
Okay.
Alright, give it a shot.
Ready?
Yep. You get close, gotta get in there. Don't be afraid of it. There you go. A little closer. Push it in towards the piece. Alright, slow down. Good. Alright.
Mine looks like turds. Why does yours look awesome?
That's not awesome. That's actually really bad. I haven't touched a MIG machine outside of doing
Ladies
sheet
and
metal.
gentlemen.
Doing sheet metal in a long time. So,
How come I need to go down more?
correct. So, hang on. Hold up. Lift up your hood for a second. Let's talk. There we go. Okay. So, what you're trying to do, think of it like this. You want to bridge these two pieces of metal, right?
Yeah.
So what's happening is you are trying to come in like this. It means your heat is going straight in.
Up.
Right. You want to try to maintain that kind of 45-degree angle. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
what's the purpose of
purpose of what?
like? I guess so. What would it look like? So it's just gonna be one straight line across.
Mm-hmm. What we're doing right now is just more than trying to get crazy with anything. We're trying to get you comfortable with the machine.
Gotcha.
Because that's the big thing is when you start feeling the wire push back against your hand, you tend to kind of do one of these numbers.
Yeah.
And that's when your stick out gets too long and it burns back.
Gotcha.
All right.
Am I close enough?
Look at what you're doing.
I can't see because of the phone.
That's my fault. All right. Can you see now?
Yeah.
All right. Try and get it down. You want that wire right in between those two pieces.
Oh, so you want to like touch it?
Well, the wire will push out. So
Gotcha.
hang on. Don't be afraid to come back here and start where you did. It's up to you.
Well, let me see.
Okay. Hold it. Hold up. Too short. If that wire is too close to you, hang on.
I'm so confused.
So you're not trying to pick up your hood real quick? Hang on, I'm about to lose you. Go ahead, push. All right, so you don't want this and you don't want this.
Okay.
You're okay, it's not gonna flash. So what you want to do is you want to try and maintain a consistent distance at all times. Make sense?
Yeah.
I know it's kind of difficult. Don't be afraid to use the table. You understand?
Okay.
So like if you need to push this back and rest your hand on the table.
But you said not to touch the table.
No. I never said don't touch the table. My point is don't go like, you're okay to rest on the table.
Okay.
It's not the best habit to get into, but if it helps you be comfortable to, you know, kind of get a feel for things, it's fine. What I'm talking about is what I just did, like grabbing this is really hot. We don't want you doing that. That's how you're more likely to get hurt than like getting shocked.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense? Okay.
You gotta go closer. Well, your stick out's gonna be way too long.
That's good.
Yep. Okay. Push in just a little bit. And there you go.
Lift up your head. Check them out. Much better.
Why are mine so clumpy?
Well, it's just practice, but you're gonna get there. Look, this is day 1, like minute 5. It's okay. All right, relax.
Here we go. I need to take this off.
All right.
Woo!
Just hurt your head.
Yeah.
Okay. Give it a little pressure.
Can you ever like reset them, or they're stuck like that now?
You can grind them off.
Oh.
That's why we're using scrap material.
They look like little turds.
Yeah, you're already doing better though. You're already doing better though, Steph. So the big thing right now is you're not down in the groove, and you want to get your weld down in that groove. That make sense? You follow me?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you see, you're going really fast and kind of jumping. That's why, if you look like right here. If you look right here, building up weld jump, building up weld jump. Versus, let it start to build heat. Touch plate, touch plate, touch plate, touch plate, touch plate. You understand?
Gotcha.
You're trying to incorporate the weld puddle into both pieces. You're literally doing this. And the idea is, you don't want a huge length to stick out. You want to try and stay pretty close.
That's what I don't get. So like.
Wow.
This close?
No. So your hand close is kind of irrelevant. What I'm talking about is the stick out, which is
I get
that wire, how long that's pushed
Yeah.
out of the gun.
I get
That make sense? So your hand, if there's some magical way you could do it from back here, I'm sure there's someone in the world who does or has like had to for some
Yeah.
position, but for the most part, you're just trying to get into a position of comfort the best you can, and it's okay to check it 2 or 3 times before you start. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So the cool part about working with scrap metals is we can do watch this little magic.
Sure.
Yeah, this little magical trick.
It's really hot.
I know it's really hot. I just found out. Okay, look at that. We got fresh new metal. So you see this backside here? See all the colors? That's your heat affected zone.
Okay.
So it's where the heat's gotten into the metal. Now if you look, see where the heat is pretty consistent? Here, I put too much heat on this top piece.
Mm-hmm.
It really didn't direct enough into the bottom. So what that tells me is my torch angle was too high. Make sense?
Gotcha.
So I should have been whipping into that bottom plate a little bit more.
Gotcha.
So where you are here, you notice there's no heat whatsoever in the bottom plate.
Yeah.
That's because your torch angle is too high. You were literally pointing across the face of the plate.
Gotcha.
Make sense?
So I have to point up more.
Yep. You want to be a little bit more of an angle. So, like I said, relax. So you are literally coming in like this.
Gotcha.
You want to be up on an angle like this.
Okay.
So we're starting fresh over here. And I'm gonna try and weld the backside. This one's all you. All right.
Okay.
Let's see how we can do. And we'll set over.
Is he still hot?
The magnet, yeah, it's not like crazy out of anymore. My hands are pretty calloused, so yeah, that'll help.
That's not why I was doing that, Pun.
Yeah.
There you go. Slow down. Consistent. There you go. Slow down. Slow down. You're doing great.
Cool.
You were down in the groove. All right.
Yeah, don't say anything, because then I get excited.
Just slow down, okay? Let it work. Can you see through where we're at right now?
Yeah.
Can you see it? Okay. So, look, this is what you're looking for. This little bead right there, okay? But what's going to happen is you're pulling so fast, you're trying to go too fast. If you slow down, let it build up. Don't be afraid to, because you see when you're looking, you can see where the actual wire is hitting, right? Through your shield. Okay, so what you're going to do, don't be afraid now. When you start back over here, you're going to start in the groove. Okay? And then you're going to take the wire up here a little bit, take it back down. Just little tiny movements. You see how small I'm moving? And you're going to move the material back. You see how slow I'm moving?
Yeah.
Just like that.
Don't say anything.
I'm not going to say a word. Get down in the groove. You're way too high. There you go. Slow down. Alright. Hold up. Alright.
How'd I do?
You tell me.
Ah, that's pretty good.
So, you're much better. You're down where you need to be, which is good. So you're down where you need to be down. You're not on the face of the plate, which is good, right?
Yeah.
You're going way too fast, though.
Gotcha.
Okay? Slow down. Don't be afraid to let the machine do the work for you. Okay? Alright. So, you're going too fast. You're pulling and kind of being unsteady with it. Alright?
Okay.
Consistency. Nice and slow, right? Let it build. Let it build some heat. Once it starts to build that heat, you can start to whip the puddle back and forth onto both pieces.
Okay.
Okay? And you see how fast my hand is moving?
Yeah.
That's where you're at. You literally went this whole distance that quick. So slow down. It's okay. You're not in a race. Nice and easy, alright? Okay? So that was a fillet weld we were trying to do there. Okay? Where we're gonna go now is what's called a groove weld. Swing. We'll set it just like that. Okay? That way you can see a little bit better what you're doing.
This one.
Correct. Now literally, if you look here, see how the two pieces are cut on a bevel?
Yeah.
That increases your surface area in the weld. So this is where it becomes really important. As you're welding this, you're going to let it build up heat in the bottom of the groove, okay? And then you're going to pull it to each side.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to pause for just a second. Okay?
Okay.
You want to see it first or you want to do it?
I can do it.
All right. I have a feeling we're going to be doing this again. The competitive nature of Steph is she's not one who likes to say, well, that really didn't work so well. This. You see how much angle you've got on your torch?
Yeah.
A little bit less. And you want to try and keep it so as you're moving, you're going to whip it. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Going from plate to plate. Make
So
sense?
do it with me first.
Okay, let's try it. Broke my feet. My wonderful bucket. Alright. Alright.
Got your bucket on?
Yeah, we're fine. Okay, so you're going to pull the trigger and I'm going to move your hand, okay?
Okay.
Ready? Go ahead. Pull it. Control that feet. Let's keep going. And let's plate. Let's plate. Hold on. Look at your weld.
That's cool.
Swing. There you go.
That baby's hot.
Yes, it is. But that's a good weld. It's probably not going to pass inspection, but so.
Good job, baby.
Well, it wasn't me. That was you.
No.
All right. So you see there?
Yeah.
You're trying to keep it consistent. You just move. You see our heat affected zone there?
Yeah.
See the bluing in it? See how it looks pretty much the same on both sides?
Yeah.
So we were getting our heat into both sides or both pieces of plate about evenly. And then what we're going to do too here is we're going to flip this guy over real quick and see if we got penetration. So the machine's running pretty low on low on voltage right now, so it's not going to. I mean, this is just goofing around. But you see here how you see the penetration coming through?
Yeah.
So you see how you got a little bit of penetration coming through?
Mm-hmm.
Make sense? That's what we're looking for.
Okay.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
Bad thing is, you see those little spots where it's starting to burn through a little bit?
Yeah.
If we hang out too long, we will burn through.
Gotcha.
Okay? All right. This guy back over here. Let's see if I can maneuver this back into place. You get really good with like pseudo spatulas and trying to make things move around, not burning yourself, because it definitely happens.
Slow down, slow down, slow down. Now start to whip. Slow down. And your stick out's way long. Look how long your wire is.
Sorry.
You're okay. Oh, hang on. Stop apologizing, dude. You're doing good and you're learning. That's all that matters. So, same thing was happening here. You started doing this, and your wire length went way long. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to try and keep your stick out shorter, and you want to keep your torch angle a little bit higher.
Okay.
Okay?
Why does the stick move?
The stick move? What do you mean?
Why does the little thing move?
The wire?
Yeah.
The wire feeds out of the gun constantly. That's what you're welding with. Hang on.
Oh, okay.
You understand? So that wire is what's create everything that you're seeing here. That's the melted wire.
Gotcha.
It's called filler metal. Use 2 hands. Trust me, it'll help you. Let's push it away a little bit so you can use the table. And then try and increase your gun angle a little bit. Get up close, start where you were.
Slow down and get closer. Your wire length is way long.
Ah.
You're doing good. Don't get frustrated. You're doing great. Hey, look. See how long your wire got?
Yeah.
You want to try and keep it right about here.
I don't understand how to not make it grow.
What's happening is so the wire is pushing out. Like literally it's pushing constantly. Okay?
Oh, so you're moving away from it and
You're right. And what ends up happening is, hey, so as you start moving away, what happens is you start doing this. You start letting the machine push you away.
Gotcha.
Does it make sense?
Got it.
Okay.
Start in your groove.
What?
There you go, right over there. Perfect.
So, let's go over a couple things real quick. Now we're on to the fun stuff.
He says this is fun.
Oh, this is
so
super fun.
I'm a little nervous because when I say things are fun at the gym,
That's
they get a little
That's the
intense.
gym. It's never fun. So now it's on to the fun stuff. We're going to do some TIG welding. So, machine's already set up, and we have our TIG torch. Okay. So basically what we're doing here is before when you were using the MIG gun, you're pulling the trigger. This is your filler material, and your filler material is coming out of the end, filling it in for you.
Uh-huh.
Make sense? Now, you're controlling the arc with one hand, okay? And then filling in the puddle it creates with the other hand.
With that thing?
Yeah, this is filler material,
Gotcha.
okay? It's 5356. So, and this is 6061 T6, just extruded stuff, just for
Can
playground
do that.
purposes. You can, except there's one part that we're missing.
The helmet.
No, this machine, typically there's 2 different setups. There's what's called a thumb control, and then there's also what's
Oh.
known as a foot control, which guess which one we're working with.
So we're going to put it up here and use my hand?
There's 100 ways to do it, actually.
Oh.
There's times where you're in like really tight quarters and whatnot, and just you'll have to use your elbow or something like that. I've had it shoved under my armpit before, doing that.
Yeah.
Bobo is really cool. Bobo actually puts it in his chair under his leg and uses his leg to operate the pedal.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I was wondering if maybe you could put it like that and do it, but we'll figure it out. We'll work a little bit at a time and see. So what I'm going to do is first thing, we're going to, I'll strike an arc just so you can get used to the sound. This one buzzes. It sounds like there's a horde of pissed off hornets around your head.
Okay.
So it buzzes, makes a good bit of noise. I just want you to get used to that first. Once we get used to that, we'll start giving you control of one part at a time. So in other words, what I'll do is we'll start with, you can do the filler wire. So we'll start, I'll create the weld puddle, and then you come in and boop, fill the hole. Make sense?
I don't get that part.
We'll talk about it as we go. Make sense?
Okay.
So this is where our electricity is coming from. This is where arc's coming from. So this will create the arc, and it melts the metal. This is called your parent metal. This melts the parent metal. The idea then is the heat that's there from the melted parent metal. This gets put into the molten parent metal, not the arc. You don't necessarily want your arc to melt your filler wire. There is times where you are doing that, but in this particular case, you want the heat from your parent metal to be what's the melted parent metal to accept the filler wire.
Okay.
Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to show you what we're doing first. Make sense? And then we'll get you fired up one step at a time.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yep.
All right, cool. Let's do her. Very, very important. We're going to get you all hooked up. Very, very important. You breathe when you're doing this. Mm-hmm. Very, very important. You find your position of comfort. Because it's real easy to get yourself like kind of bound up in a corner and then you can't do anything. So much easier when the long hair was on my head.
Okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay, gas is on, machine's on, all set, good to go. Okay. If you want to film it, you can. You don't have to. But
gloves.
I'm gonna throw some gloves on you, just to be safe. This one's kind of cool because there really is no spatter.
What do you think Grandma's comments are gonna be?
I don't know. They'll probably be really good though. I hope I could teach her one day. That'd be fun. I'm sure she'd probably teach me a lot too. She's probably done this. As many things that Grandma and Grandpa have done, they've probably done this before. It wouldn't surprise me.
I don't know about that. Maybe.
It wouldn't surprise me. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to practice just on this scrap piece here. I'm just going to show you what the torch does and how it reacts, okay?
Okay.
So, like I said before, be prepared as you're going to hear some buzzing. Okay? The first sound you're going to hear is like a tss. That's the gas when it starts to flow. Mm-hmm. And then it's kind of like a loud snap. That's going to be the arc starting, and you'll see it. Okay?
Okay.
So we're not messing with any filler wire quite yet. We're just going to strike an arc and show you the puddle. Make sense?
Okay.
Good? Watch the material. And it's going to start to look like a little ball of mercury. See that? Yeah. Watch that molten material. Okay. If I give it more puddle, it gets larger. If I back off the puddle, you see it go away? Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to come off the puddle. Sounds like a bunch of pissed off hornets, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, scared? Huh?
No.
I'm going to create that puddle again.
Okay.
Okay. And then we're going to add some filler wire.
Okay.
Alright, so.
Puddle. See that little ball of mercury there? Now come in and just touch it. See that? It won't move. Touch it. Touch it. Touch it. Touch it. Touch it. Touch it.
I feel like I'm going to be a lot better at this than the other one.
The only obstacle you're going to have with this one is the pedal. That's what I'm saying. Like, if we take over one little piece at a time. Alright?
Okay.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to have the torch. I'm going to have the pedal. And then you're going to feed the wire. And it's literally just as simple as you're not going to try and touch the tip. Don't worry about this. Yeah. Your focus is here on this piece. Mm-hmm. You're just going to go right to the edge of the puddle. And when you touch it, it'll literally take what it wants. It'll melt right off the end of there.
Okay.
Okay? Alright, so I'm going to strike the arc. And you're just going to come in with this. Is that too much weight hanging off the back of your hand?
No. No?
You okay? Alright, and you're just going to... I sharpened a bunch of tungsten too, just so don't be afraid. What might happen is if you touch the tip of this, it might go zzz, real quick. But you're not going to get hurt.
Okay.
Okay? Ready? So you're going to wait. Be patient. You got to heat up that material. And
you're going to see that little ball of mercury. Wait. See that little ball of mercury?
Yeah.
Touch it. Down, down. You're going to touch the puddle. Touch the puddle, not the torch. Touch the puddle, not the torch.
I'm trying.
Hang on. That was good. It's close. Touch the puddle. Oh, you're okay. You're okay.
What the hell?
Remember I told you if you touch the tip, how it's gonna go near.
I don't like this.
It's okay. Hey, what happened? Hey, check it out. Lift up your hood for just a second. Okay, you're all right. Look, what happened was, if you get too close to this, remember we talked about the path of electricity? What happens is that little tungsten there, it's in the end, that's your electrode. It will suck this filler wire up onto it if you get too close.
Gotcha.
Okay? So the trick with this is you're literally working within a very small spot.
I don't get the distance though.
Let me see for a second. You're coming in, like as I'm here, right, off the piece, you're coming in up here. You want to be down here.
Okay.
Touch the puddle, not the torch. Down here.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. That one's boogered, but we'll be okay. If you look at the end of it, it's not going to hurt you. It's not. I promise you, it's not going to hurt you. If you look at the end of it, you see how it's a little ball on it? That's this. It sucked it up onto the tungsten. So right now we're going to get a little bit of a crappy weld, but we can still work with it to at least play around, burn up one tungsten before we start burning up a bunch of them.
Oh, is this what rings are made of?
I'm sorry?
Is this what rings are made of?
Tungsten rings, yes, are made of the same material that's in here, which I find really funny because it is slightly radioactive, so give it like 30 years and we'll see what happens, but yeah, anyways. Let's try it one more time. Alright. You want to watch it real quick? Here,
No, I got it.
You gonna do it?
Why is it doing that?
Don't worry about it. That means that it's working. Is it still changing though? That's the big. Is it still changing dark when we strike an arc?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. Just wait. Be patient. Ready?
Yeah.
Ooh. Don't do that. See that mercury? Touch it. You're okay. Go ahead. Touch the puddle. Touch the puddle. You're okay. Touch the puddle. Touch the puddle. There you go. If you see it melt. You're okay. Back off. We're going to move to our next spot. Touch the puddle. Keep falling. Breathe. Touch the puddle. Okay, hang on. Stop for a moment. Robert's hood's about dead. He's back at batteries. Alright, so see how hot we got this?
Yeah.
Okay, relax. Hang on. You're doing good.
Hold this.
All right?
Yeah.
Okay. You're coming in and going, and like trying to run away from it. Touch it. Just touch it. Don't be afraid. Touch it and pull away. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you start doing this and jumping around, you're more likely to either touch the tip or ground yourself out on something.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You okay? You want to try this one or no?
I don't like this one very much.
That's just practice.
I just don't feel very safe.
Is it the noise that makes you not feel safe? What is it? Talk to me.
No, I don't know. I don't like this one very much.
Flipping your head off. Push up. Push up. All the way up. There you go.
I mean, it's cool and stuff, but
How about
I
this?
don't know.
I'll trade you. You want to try the torch?
Okay. Yeah, that'll probably make me feel safer.
Okay. Now what I'm going to tell you is
How do you turn it on?
foot pedal.
Oh,
I'm going to
that's
turn it
right.
on for you.
Can I use my hand?
You can brace your hand on something. It's not a problem at all. Remember how I said assume everything on the table is hot?
Mm-hmm.
This is the reason. Does that look hot?
Yeah.
That looks hot to you?
I don't know.
It
It
don't
looks
look
like
hot to
melted
me.
metal.
It don't look hot to me. Let me tell you, that thing will light you up right now.
Okay.
So, I'm trying to think of a way that we could do this a little bit easier for you. If we were doing steel, it's not as loud. It's a little bit easier, but
It's not about the loud. It's just.
well, it's not as intimidating. When that buzzing is going on in the background, it's definitely intimidating.
Like you doing that and then.
The only thing I'll tell you is, so with this, so when you're holding your torch, you have to be able to see, right? So we can't be obviously straight up and down. But what comes out of the end of this is gas. And the gas is what keeps this from happening. That big black flash there, that's impurities attacking the weld. Okay? So what we want to do is try and keep our torch on a little bit of an angle.
Okay.
The same thing applies with heat. If I point it towards my workpiece, the heat is going in the workpiece. If I point it away from the workpiece, the heat's going in that direction. That makes sense?
Yeah.
You'll really notice this when you're welding because, so one of the tricks you can use is if you start to basically have overheating of materials, you can actually use that to push, like if I have thicker metal here versus thinner metal, you can actually turn your heat onto the thicker metal.
Gotcha.
You want to give it a shot?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can really hold this any way you want. Guys do it different ways. But position of comfort is most important. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to strike an arc first, just to let you get used to the machine, how it sounds, all that good stuff. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Gotta get a little closer. Remember what I told you about angle? Try and come up a little bit.
Okay.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
You pulled away. Don't pull away. Scary? Talk to me. I can barely hear you with this.
It just feels weird.
What feels weird?
Like an alarm.
What
I
do you
just
mean?
don't feel like I actually felt more in control with the other thing.
I can understand that, absolutely.
Yeah.
Alright. So talk to me.
I think I'm pretty good with.
You just want to stay with MIG welding for today?
I'm pretty. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
I thought that was really cool. Like a lot of people don't understand.
I'll put sorry just because the table's hot.
Hold
We're
on,
running.
we're gonna do like. I'm gonna fix my hair for a second. Not for aesthetics, but it just feels weird. People don't realize, like when I say that you're good at literally almost everything.
It's definitely not true.
It really is though.
Certainly not
And
true.
I feel like what people don't understand is, or that people don't know, is that you let me try everything. Like when we were in New York, and I had to, I didn't have to, but I helped you build your mold for your
You
mask.
did the head cast? Yeah.
And so
That
like,
was fun.
they're like little things that you just kind of just try. And we were sitting around thinking about like what's something that I could try. And I'm not necessarily gonna say that I'm gonna pick up a MIG welding job anytime soon, but it's a really cool experience to know that you can at least do it. And
Yeah, but you say that. But the thing is, man, I mean, to me, I look at it as what happens if there is somebody out there who has that attitude of like, oh, I can't because I use a tray.
right, like no, I think it's awesome, and obviously, like it's interesting. So he knows Bobo from working with my box, but I met Bo years ago when we went surfing together. And if you don't know Bo, I mean the fact that
Bo knows welding, like if anybody gets the 90s
the
reference.
the fact that he can do all of this is really exciting, and it's really cool. And if you tell people like a little bit about his background or what he just physically looks like,
to me, it's kind of to be honest. Like I hate to say this, but it's irrelevant because everyone does what they can in their own circumstance, and the fact that Bo has. It's one thing
he
to be
has
able
no
to.
legs though, right? Or
yeah, but to me, once again, it's irrelevant. The fact
which I
that
think is really cool.
the fact that this dude has managed to adapt something to his circumstance, but it's one thing to adapt it and like kind of not really produce the results or be happy with where you're at. Bo is always chasing that next like perfect beat, and it's just really, really cool. Super knowledgeable guy, very, very talented guy.
Yeah.
Being around him and Mike is you're learning the whole time. It's really neat.
And we talked about this the other day when I was doing my nails, and we're gonna do another video for the YouTube channel, but we did it more for social media purposes. And Ty did one hand and I did the other, just to see who did better. And honestly, Ty did better. But you know, it was the idea of like being perfect or doing something perfectly. Like Ty will look at that and be like, "Oh, you did a great job," and I look at that and I'm like, "That looks like a bunch of turds." But I know. But at the end of the day, I think we kind of have to get out of our own heads, and we're just, you know, learning something new. So I'm excited that we did this. I think we're going to do it more often. I really want to, you know, think about the things that we can try together and the things that I can try.
I'm going to get you TIG welding. One way or another, I'll get you. I think if we find something with a thumb control,
Yeah,
you'd be
and
a little bit.
I don't want you to think I, like, gave up. It just...
No, I get it.
More like safety-wise, it just started feeling a little sketch.
I get you. It's okay.
But if you guys have things that you think would be really cool for us to try, really cool for me to try, let us know, because we're going to try to make this a thing. So leave it in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed our experience of welding. I did MIG welding, right?
Mm-hmm.
And TIG welding.
Yep.
And I definitely am...
I'll give you like a third on the TIG welding.
I am definitely better at MIG welding, but this was a lot of fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and just let us know if there's something that you want to hear or see. Just leave it in the comments below, and we'll get back to you.